Hello, this is Charlene Burke with Grow Because You Know. That's www.growbecauseyouknow.com. Welcome to Morning Mindset, where we're reading Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Today we're reading pages 127 to 132. Midway down 127. The 30 major causes of failure. How many of these are holding you back? Life's greatest tragedy consists of men and women who earnestly try and fail. The tragedy lies in the overwhelmingly large majority of people who fail as compared to the few who succeed. I have had the privilege of analyzing several thousand men and women, 98% of whom are classed as failures. There is something radically wrong with a civilization and a system of education which permit 98% of the people to go through life as failures. But I did not write this book for the purpose of moralizing on the rights and wrongs of the world. That would require a book 100 times the size of this one. My analysis work proved that there are 30 major reasons for failure and 13 major principles through which people accumulate fortunes. In this chapter, a description of the 30 major causes of failure will be given. As you go over the list, check yourself by it, point by point, for the purpose of discovering how many of these causes of failure stand between you and success. 1. Unfavorable hereditary background. There is but little, if anything, which can be done for people who are born with a deficiency in brain power. This philosophy offers but one method of bridging this weakness, through the aid of the mastermind. Observe with profit, however, that this is the only one of the 30 causes of failure which may not be easily corrected by any individual. 2. Lack of a well-defined purpose in life. There is no hope of success for the person who does not have a central purpose or definite goal at which to aim. 98% out of every 100 of those whom I have analyzed had no such aim. Perhaps this was the 3. Lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. We offer no hope for the person who is so indifferent as to not want to get ahead in life and who is not willing to pay the price. 4. Insufficient education. This is a handicap which may be overcome with comparative ease. Experience has proven that the best educated people are often those who are known as self-made or self-educated. It takes more than a college degree to make one a person of education. Any person who is educated is one who has learned to get whatever he wants in life without violating the rights of others. Education consists not so much of knowledge, but of knowledge effectively and persistently applied. Men are paid not merely for what they know, but more particularly for what they do with that which they know. 5. Lack of self-discipline. Discipline comes through self-control. This means that one must control all negative qualities. Before you can control conditions, you must first control yourself. Self-mastery is the hardest job you will ever tackle. If you do not conquer self, you will be conquered by self. You may see at one and the same time both your best friend and your greatest enemy by stepping in front of a mirror. 6. Ill health. No person may enjoy outstanding success without good health. Many of the causes of ill health are subject to mastery and control. These, in the main, are A. Overeating of foods not conducive to health. B. Wrong habits of thought giving expression to negatives. C. Wrong use of and overindulgence in sex. D. Lack of proper physical exercise. E. An inadequate supply of fresh air due to improper breathing. 7. Unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. As the twig is bent, so shall the tree grow. Most people who have criminal tendencies acquire them as the result of bad environment and improper associates during childhood. 8. Procrastination. This is one of the most common causes of failure. Old man procrastination stands within the shadow of every human being, waiting his opportunity to spoil one's chances of success. Most of us go through life as failures because we are waiting for the time to be right to start doing something worthwhile. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. 9. Lack of persistence. Most of us are good starters, but poor finishers of everything we begin. Moreover, people are prone to give up at the first signs of defeat. There is no substitute for persistence. The person who makes persistence his watchword discovers that old man failure finally becomes tired and makes his departure. Failure cannot cope with persistence. 10. Negative personality. There is no hope of success for the person who repels people through a negative personality. Success comes through the application of power, and power is attained through the cooperative efforts of other people. A negative personality will not induce cooperation. 11. Lack of controlled sexual urge. Sex energy is the most powerful of all the stimuli which move people into action. Because it is the most powerful of the emotions, it must be controlled through transmutation and converted into other channels. 12. Uncontrolled desire for something for nothing. The gambling instinct drives millions of people to failure. Evidence of this may be found in a study of the Wall Street crash of '29, during which millions of people tried to make money by gambling on stock margins. 13. Lack of a well-defined power of decision. Men who succeed reach decisions promptly and change them, if at all, very slowly. Men who fail reach decisions, if at all, very slowly and change them frequently and quickly. Indecision and procrastination are twin brothers. Where one is found, the other may usually be found also. Kill off this pair before they completely hogtie you to the treadmill of failure. 14. One or more of the 6 basic fears. These fears have been analyzed for you in a later chapter. They must be mastered before you can market your services effectively. 15. Wrong selection of a mate in marriage. This is a most common cause of failure. The relationship of marriage brings people intimately into contact. Unless this relationship is harmonious, failure is likely to follow. Moreover, it will be a form of failure that is marked by misery and unhappiness, destroying all signs of ambition. 16. Overcaution. The person who takes no chances generally has to take whatever is left when others are through choosing. Overcaution is as bad as undercaution. Both are extremes to be guarded against. Life itself is filled with the element of chance. 17. Wrong selection of associates in business. This is one of the most common causes of failure in business. In marketing personal services, one should use great care to select an employer who will be an inspiration and who is himself intelligent and successful. We emulate those with whom we associate most closely. Pick an employer who is worth emulating. 18. Superstition and prejudice. Superstition is a form of fear. It is also a sign of ignorance. Men who succeed keep open minds and are afraid of nothing. 19. Wrong selection of a vocation. No man can succeed in a line of endeavor which he does not like. The most essential step in the marketing of personal services is that of selecting an occupation into which you can throw yourself wholeheartedly. 20. Lack of concentration of effort. The jack of all trades seldom is good at any. Concentrate all of your efforts on one definite chief aim. 21. The habit of indiscriminate spending. The spendthrift cannot succeed, mainly because he stands eternally in fear of poverty. Form the habit of systematic saving by putting aside a definite percentage of your income. Money in the bank gives one a very safe foundation of courage when bargaining for the sale of personal services. Without money, one must take what one is offered and be glad to get it. 22. Lack of enthusiasm. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be convincing. Moreover, enthusiasm is contagious, and the person who has it under control is generally welcome in any group of people. 23. Intolerance. The person with a closed mind on any subject seldom gets ahead. Intolerance means that one has stopped acquiring knowledge. The most damaging forms of intolerance are those connected with religious, racial, and political differences of opinion. 24. Intemperance. The most damaging forms of intemperance are connected with eating, strong drink, and sexual activities. Overindulgence in any of these is fatal to success. 25. Inability to cooperate with others. More people lose their positions and their big opportunities in life because of this fault than for all other reasons combined. It is a fault which no well-informed businessman or leader will tolerate. 26. Possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. sons and daughters of wealthy men and others who inherit money which they did not earn. Power in the hands of those who did not acquire it gradually is often fatal to success. Quick riches are more dangerous than poverty. 27. Intentional dishonesty. There is no substitute for honesty. One may be temporarily dishonest by force of circumstances which one has no control without permanent damage, but there is no hope for the person who is dishonest by choice. Sooner or later, his deeds will catch up to him, and he will pay by loss of reputation and perhaps even loss of liberty. 28. Egotism and vanity. These qualities serve as red lights which warn others to keep away. They are fatal to success. 29. Guessing instead of thinking. Most people are too indifferent or lazy to acquire facts upon which to think accurately. They prefer to act on opinions created by guesswork or snap judgments. 30. Lack of capital. This is a common cause of failure among those who start out in business for the first time without sufficient reserve of capital to absorb the shock of their mistakes and to carry them over until they have established a reputation. 31. Under this, name any particular cause of failure from which you have suffered and that has not been included in the foregoing list. In these 30 major causes of failure is found a description of the tragedy of life, which obtains for practically every person who tries and fails. It will be helpful if you can induce someone you know well to go over this list with you and help to analyze you by the 30 causes of failure. It may be beneficial if you try this alone. Most people cannot see themselves as others see them. You may be one who cannot. The oldest of admonitions is, man, know thyself. If you market merchandise successfully, you must know the merchandise. The same is true in marketing personal services. You should know all of your weaknesses in order that you may either bridge them or eliminate them entirely. You should know your strength in order that you may call attention to it when selling your services. You can know yourself only through accurate analysis. I'm going to stop there. Did I not tell you that was a pretty darn good piece of reading? For those who don't have a copy of the book, here is a link. I want to welcome Steve, Julio, good to see you, Noach, Derek, so glad you could join us. Good to see you here. And my screen is going absolutely crazy at the moment. Chuck, I don't know where Sabrina is. She's probably, actually, she's been at WordCamp. So, seat is open for anybody who would like to discuss anything that was read regarding those 30 and then 31 causes of failure. Good morning, Chuck. Oh, I can't hear you. Check your mic. Gonna have to try again? No? I'm sure you're saying something awesome. I know you are. Try again. And there's plenty of room here. There's 3 seats available if anybody would like to jump in and discuss any part of what was read. Try again, Chuck. No? I'm thinking we're glad we didn't hear that. No. Oh, this is odd. Every time you come on, it works beautifully. You're just going to unplug everything, aren't you? It didn't work, but nuts. And I bet you have fabulous things to share this morning, too. Okay. He will eventually. Persistence. Persistence. Damon knows about persistence. If we could get Damon on here, he'll tell us all about persistence. He finally got on. Yes, Steve. That's what will happen is he'll eventually type it in. But it doesn't have to be just chalk. We can try one more time. I'm assuming that he's refreshing his screen. You're welcome for the link. I will be here, you know. Chuck. Oh, doll, I don't know what to tell you, dear. It's not going to be as effective typing it out. I know. I'd love to have you on here. I love it when you're on here and we discuss. Good morning, Nikki. Good to see you here. So while you're trying to figure that out, Chuck, let me go to the reading and say that I love this list and I love using it as a form of self-inventory. A review of myself. Where am I? How am I doing? It's similar to a review of what I do of myself on a semi-regular basis. A couple of times a year sometimes. Over the years, it's been, I waited too long to touch base with me, look at myself in the mirror and see the gaps and where those gaps are. And that's what I call them. I call them gaps. Mark, glad you could be with us. Welcome. You know, there was a time that I would have been very afraid to look at myself like that. Good morning, Linda. Glad you're here. And the link has already gone up into the land of comments. So here's a link for anybody who hasn't read. Good morning, Tracy. Glad you're here. Let's see if Steve has his audio. No.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear. Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Hello, Steve. Good to meet you. Welcome.
Good to meet you. I don't think we've spoken before.
We've not. We've not. Glad to have you on. So do you have thoughts or comments about what was read? Would love to hear them.
Yeah, I just, I'm sad to say I came in late, so I haven't heard them all, but thanks to your wonderful link, I'm now, looking through them.
Perusing them?
Yes, indeed. The one that stood out to me is 28. So I wanted to say a little bit about 28, hear your thoughts,
right.
And then I'll drop off and listen again. Egotism and vanity. These qualities serve as red lights which warn others to keep away. They are fatal to success.
Yes. Why did that strike you?
It struck me because, I suppose as a confessional, I've let that get in the way in the past. But what I've learnt as I've got older is, actually, I'm just going to draw the curtains there, so it got better.
A little bright.
I was very white, I noticed. Yeah, I'm not feeling too ill, it made me look ill.
Okay.
The successful people, they must have an ego.
I'm sorry, that was a classic. That was vanity. That was great. You deserve props for that, Steve. That was like the perfect, that did it. Go ahead. My apologies, but that's how it struck me.
That's good. That's humor there. Live, coming to you live. It's the successful people. They might have egos, but they're not. Well, the people that I've met that I respect, it's not in your face. You know, they're keeping it in check, and they're always willing to learn. So I've as I've got older, I've increasingly adopted that. Just always learning, always learning.
Yes. So back to the ego and vanity. One of the things that I read into that as a business owner is that if it's out of whack, if it is, the focus is too much on me, that means that the focus isn't on my end client, which is really the purpose of being in business. Yeah. The first purpose is to make money. The second purpose is to make money with an end client. And if I am too vain and too wrapped up in the vanity portion, which is everything has to be just right when I walk out the door. Everything has to be, when I look in the mirror, I have to see something in particular. I have to project something in particular image. That's going through my mind. And egotism is a little out of whack in that, again, I guess it could go either way, couldn't it? I have a healthy ego, and then I have the unhealthy on too high. So, of course, everything's about me. How can it not be, right? I am that fabulous. And then too low. too low, an injured or wounded ego that says everything's about me because I'm so horrible. So that's what's coming to my mind on those. And I could see where both of those, oh my word, combine the two of them, I'm surprised anything would start. But you would have the ego that says, this can be done, so therefore I'm going to. But the combination will ultimately destroy the success. So maybe short term, you could have success with it, but long term, maybe not. It's not very attractive to me.
No.
You know, as I talk out loud about it, what do you think?
I think, well, I'm right. When I do this, by the way, I'm writing down everything, your pearls of wisdom, focusing on the client, you know, always focusing on the client.
Oh, okay.
That's what you said at one point.
Yes, it was.
In business, we're here to serve, you know, that's what it's about.
That's what I'm about. And I'm not attracted to those who are in business that aren't about that. Now, there are those that isn't their sole purpose. That's not what drives them, is to serve. It is something else. And while I admire that, it's not a part of who I am, because there isn't just one thing about the person that is the business owner and moving forward with things that makes it a success or not. And that's what I like about Napoleon Hill. He's got the 13 principles, right? So for me, I'm not attracted to those who don't have a serving heart in some capacity, where I can't see some generosity in personal life, or ultimately, I think it boils down to what I see, how they treat people. You know, what just came to mind was a wonderful story years and years ago. I wish I could tell you who I heard it from, but it is, you know who you want to be around when you take them out to dinner and see how they treat the waitress.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I can't tell you where it came from, but it is something that over the years I have noticed with people that I'm out to lunch with, or at coffee, or, you know, in a capacity at a banquet or a conference, or, you know, I'm attracted to those who treat people as people, regardless of their station or the work that they do, because they value them as people, not because of the work they do or because they're serving them.
Yeah.
Well, there was a moment of brilliance from me. I'm glad it's recorded. Doesn't happen often. Charlene, get this. You got your halogen light bulb. Okay. I just made a connection there. Sorry.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I shall be listening from the sideline and give somebody else a chance to jump in.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate your comments. Greatly appreciate them. There's room here. We've got seats open. Those who know me know that I prefer to have people in the seats. Let's have a conversation, share our thoughts. Hello, everybody. We have Paul. Welcome to the room. Ravel. Hi. Hello. Hi. Any minute now, she's going to come on. There she is. Hello, dear.
Here I am. Wow, he really on the money. Just, you know, from every item, you know, from number 1 to number 31, it's just right on. And for me is the well-defined purpose, and the discipline, procrastinations, that is the key for me.
Discipline, procrastination, and well-defined purpose. That's what threw out at you, huh?
Yeah, because it's very important, you know, to understand your purpose. Because, you know, when people are talking about, you need to understand why you're doing something. You know, that is one thing. As a parent, and you know, you will. The question is, who you willing to live and die for? I mean, it have to be very clearly. And what is your purpose outside of that? And you know, you stated, I mean, I love your open as well, your close, you know, live on purpose and stay on purpose. Because lack of that, just like you going somewhere without the destinations, you know, and you know, and then if you have the destination, you have the discipline to focus and to stay on, and until you get to where you needed to get there.
Right.
Yeah. And the procrastination is, to me, is some form of avoid doing it. So the question is, what you're afraid of.
Oh, yes. That to me is a powerful, powerful question. If you're putting it off, what is it you're afraid of?
Yeah, because definitely they avoid to do something because you can see that people misunderstood that activity to productivity because activity is not equal to
Yes.
productivity.
Yes, it's all well and good you're busy, but what did you actually accomplish? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have to agree. So one of my biggest bugaboos this year has shown itself, and it is procrastination. It showed itself by putting off my taxes for as long as possible. And yes, it was. And I know what I was afraid of. I don't like taxes. I was afraid of what the numbers would show. I was afraid that I wouldn't have everything I needed. I was afraid of all the stuff that I had control over, but I let that overwhelm enough for me to say, file the extension. And so finally, here's my payback. Finally, I get everything, business, personal, husband's business, husband's personal. We're all together, got it all straightened out. Whoo, it looks great. Spreadsheets look awesome, right? And I get it over to the accountant and I'm so pleased. And I'm talking to people saying, how silly I was for putting it off and, all that stuff. And so what happens this weekend? I get an email. Actually, it was Friday. I get an email from the accountant. The spreadsheet I gave her doesn't show up anyplace. I gave it to her on a hard drive. One other sheet came up, but it doesn't make sense because it's the P&L. It's not the details. The spreadsheet itself is corrupted and it's not appearing, and she can't make head nor tails of it. So can I redo it?
Oh, man.
Yeah, you know what I did? I just laughed so hard at myself. I said, well, you're getting what you deserve. That's what you get for putting it off. Now I'm feeling rushed to really get it.
Yeah.
Hey, instead of getting angry and wigging out, it's just, all right, Charlene, you did it to yourself again. And be thankful that it's not in everything in my life, just little things, little pieces. I'm like, taxes aren't little things, but comparatively speaking, right, perspective here, I'm able to laugh because, if it's not going to be taxes, it's going to be something else. It seems that just, honest to goodness, procrastination creeps in, and then, of course, it bites me in the butt.
The message that you just read, I think that is something that we almost need to read to ourselves weekly, using that as the checklist to do your own self inventory.
It is an excellent segue into an inventory. It is, and I've used this. What often I will do over the years, I guess about 18 or 20 years, annually I went on a 3-day retreat. And it was a literal retreat into a wooded area with another group of people that had the same purpose in mind, which was to let go of everything as we entered the retreat area. Everything is unplugged. We are gone from the world, and our focus is going to be guided into meditation and into review of ourselves. And because we were all in a safe place with a good guide, a retreat director, we eventually, didn't take long in small discussion areas, that we found the person that would help us mirror, that would help us go through. So how are things? Where are the gaps? What's happening? And it was all focused on me and my overall spiritual, emotional health and them. So it was my turn to be reviewed and looked at and worked with somebody in the group. And then it was my turn to help them. And it was an inventory process very similar to this, that the idea is have somebody, and he says it in here, doing it yourself, you sometimes can't see the gap. You can't see the missing pieces or what's out of whack. But having somebody else do it with you, it becomes very, very clear. And then it's just something to work on rather than, or to address rather than to be upset about that it's there. So that's what I was alluding to, that this is something very, I love how he's got it written out. A lot of this are things that just as principles and as pieces of being human that looked at over the years.
You know, my mentor, Les Brown, he said that when you are in the picture, when you're in the picture, you cannot see the frame.
Yes,
And
love that.
you know, that is what you're saying. You know, sometimes that we cannot see the thing about us, or because you are too close to it. My rule of thumb is when I conquer some problem, I usually take a few steps backward because I want to see the whole vista. I want to see the whole picture. And then I began to ask myself, okay, you are here now. Now what? And then so what? And then go on. Because, you know, for me, I need to asking the question to seeking for solutions. Because I'm not go out there and not sit there and whipping and keep on saying, say why me? Because, you know, if you ever asking why me, you will hear the thunder voice from the top and say, no, if not you, then who? Who do you suggest? You know.
Yeah, I like it. Who do you suggest?
Yeah, you know, because I think that I give it to you because I will go through the thing training and test it. I know you can handle it. So I just looking for the answer. I never asking the question why me.
Yes. Yes, and there's great value in that. Oh, there's such freedom can be found in that. And that's what that's what attracts me to going to those types of retreats, is that I want to improve and I want to be a better me. The difficulties come in, just so that everybody understands that it's not always, honeysuckles and roses. The difficulties come in when I've tried going on those retreats as an escape. And as I said, like 18 or 20 years, it was a minimum of once a year, if not twice a year, I was doing this. Some really, really difficult challenges occurred outside of my husband and myself, and then health challenges. And I tried using those retreats to escape from them. Now, they were helpful because it provided a retreat and a reprieve, a few days of reprieve from having to do battle, which is exactly what it felt like. So I'm glad I went. But I think also the better outcomes is when I'm able to go in and say, I'm ready to see the gaps.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the gaps. I'm not looking for faults. I'm not looking for what's wrong with me. I used to do that, and I've learned over the years that it is gaps.
Yeah,
just
because
gaps.
you go in with an open mind. You're not going to ready to defend your positions, because
Yes.
the minute that you defend your position, you learn nothing.
Exactly. And that's what would happen to me early. Not even early. There's just times I'm recalling that the defense would come up, and that meant that I wasn't going to come out better for it. Most of the time, I can honestly say, and that's why I continued to go. Most of the time, it was my going in saying, well, let's find out. What am I going to be working on next?
Yeah. Because you spend the money, you go in there, you need to just like let it go, open-minded, and just listen and learn, and then share at that point. Because if you take
Yes
for yourself, no good.
The other thing I was just looking at, procrastination as defined in this as a failure, cause of failure by Napoleon Hill. That procrastination stands in the way of opportunity. And that's another thing that strikes me. All the years that I kept telling my husband, I'm not ready. It's not right. I'm not ready. It's not right. When he was telling me to start my own business. Now, I looked at other things, and honestly, when I was ready, the opportunity wasn't there. Things weren't in place in a lot of different areas. Money wasn't there, or it just didn't feel right. A great opportunity was presented to me, and it just wasn't. And I'm glad I didn't take those. But the others was me putting off. because of fear. It was me putting off procrastination, of me waiting until somebody else did it first and then being a latecomer and not being able to reap rewards from it. And I've noticed that in my own business since I've had it since '08, is watching and feeling compelled that in knowing decision-wise that this would be appropriate for me to be here or there for the business, to serve clients, to serve myself, that sort of thing. And being afraid to step out and do it. Let somebody else do it first. So I wanted to throw that out there. That I can see, and now I can say to anybody out there, start where you stand. Start with what you have, because amazingly enough, by being in action, moving forward, all that I've needed has been put in my path to help me continue to move forward.
Yeah, because the truth of the matter is you cannot tumble into something and you stand still in one place. And
yeah, you're not stumbling over anything if you're standing still. Good point. I love that.
Yeah, and then when you go in, of course you go in with a plan, but you're ready to review it and to correct it, and then because the plan is there, just like the very basic foundation for you to get on, and then you correct the course as time go on. Because if you have a fancy thinking that, oh, that's exactly what I'm going to do, and from step 1 to step 10 to get to where that you are dreaming, because life is not that way, or business is not that way. There's always something thrown at you, and then you need to learn to adapt and to implement, or just to do whatever that you needed. Because it is a foundation of what you already have. That's easier for you to navigate through all that. Then you go driving on the highway, and if you see there is a detour, you take the detour, but remind yourself to go back on the highway to go to where you need it. But if you start your sightseeing and stop by the antique shop or something, geez, when will you get there?
Well, see, you're saying detour, I call it derailment. If you derail me, am I able to get back on track?
Yeah.
And I can. And I can, because I have my major definite purpose. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. What I have included in my activity is conducive to my success, and what it aligns with who I am and what my business is turning into. Now, having said that, the other thing I liked that I read in here that really struck me, one of the failures is, hang on, it's in here, and boy, do I could share a story, and I'd love to hear it if anybody else has this. It was, wait a minute, we're in here. It's related to picking the wrong business partners.
Oh, that's really, yeah.
Oh, I hit a chord there, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with me, I had tried partnering.
Number 17. Twice. Wrong.
Is it number 17? See, I'm always a page. Wrong selection of associates in business. Wow. Oh, can I just wholeheartedly say, wow. And what I can say right now is that I have learned from that. And it's at one time I had said, because I've tried it twice with two very distinctly different types of businesses, still aligned with who I am and what my ultimate goal is for the business and serving people, serving my clients. Both times, I can look back now, I went in for the wrong reasons. And when I left both of them, the second time, I said, I am not made for a partnership. I am not made to partner with somebody, to physically partner in a business, sharing the business, sharing the funds, sharing the movement of the business, and what have you. Today, I understand I'm far enough away to understand that I went in with the wrong attitude. I selected the wrong people. The business itself was very good, but my reasons for agreeing to partner with them were based on fear of doing it myself, were based on lack of knowledge, I didn't investigate far enough, which is unusual for me. I'm a researcher, but it was based on fear. They had something I wanted, and they could move forward. I wanted them, honestly, it boiled down to I wanted them to lead. And then it turned out I'm not a very good follower.
But see, no experience go to waste, because you learn from that, you grow from that.
I did.
I mean, it even though that is unpleasant, but the fact that you learn from it, and that is from this day forward. And just like when you grow, I'm very much in the analogy and the metaphor. When you're a child, you're not too far away from the ground, and when you fall, not that bad. But when you get growing, just like your business right now, if you have hit that, it will hurt you more than it was some years ago.
Mm-hmm. That's just it. And that, he's listed 30 failures. And of course, did anybody catch number 31? Under number 31, you can name any particular cause of failure from which you've suffered that's not included in any of this. So you have a chance to put yourself in there too. And what's interesting is that every one of these are personal. This is all about, it's not about the business. It's not about what we're selling. It's not about the product. It's about us and what are the gaps in us. That's what I find to be the best thing about this book and about those 30 points. Chuck, talk? No. But boy, I love that persistence. You certainly don't suffer from that one.
He certainly had the determination.
Determination and persistence. And
after that, Chuck, my friend, you determined to get on. Yeah.
All right. So your settings, maybe they've changed in the browser. I don't know either, because you're in a different. No, Chuck, I'm seeing a different background. Are you on a different computer than you normally get on? Oh, I tried. I tried. Try again. I know you will. We still have a couple of seats open if you want to join myself and Ha in the discussion about the 30 causes of failure that 98%, that was the other thing, 98% of people suffer from. 98%. And I don't want to be one of those. I want to be one of the 2% that is moving forward and identifying and growing and all the things that he's got pointed out. I really do. So anybody, please, got open seats. It's to be a discussion. Great suggestion, Steve. Start your own blab room and see if the audio can work. So good morning, Craig. Let me welcome a couple of people. Christy, so good to see you here. Big hugs to you. Raymond, nice to see you. Eric Grill, saw you come in and we were involved in the discussion. Glad to have you here. Sean, I've not seen you here before. Welcome. Welcome. Brian, don't tell me we finally got you in here.
No.
There he is.
No, you didn't. This is an illusion.
It is an illusion. Well, I'm glad to have this illusion. So good to see you. So good to meet you. Welcome. Well,
we've met before. Not in person, of course. I never get to Kentucky, but how do you leverage these things against circumstance?
I'm going to ask you to flesh that out a little bit, so that because I have an immediate response.
I want to hear the immediate response.
Oh, that it's not that you leverage them against circumstances, is that you use them for the ability to get through or to adjust or to manage the circumstances under which you find yourself.
Okay. I was diagnosed with MS, 19 years ago now.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I don't let it stop me or hold me back. I'm fighting, and I'm fighting hard for everything. I'm involved with Volk Rehab here, who does absolutely nothing. I'm up at 5:30 looking for work. I'm actually starting my own business because I can't find anything, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
And it's interesting to not see people that are taking advantage of what's out there like I'm trying to do. And I don't have people that have disabilities that are starting their own businesses around me or anything like that. And so I have me. And that's not always a good thing to have. So I'm wondering how I can leverage myself, I guess, against my lack, because this around me is going away if I don't get some income.
Okay, so the point of this is our mindset. And what I love about what we've read is that it is time to maybe work with somebody else, to have that mirror, to have somebody be able to walk through those causes of failure, which I'm seeing for me as those speed bumps and the walls that would stop me from moving forward. And then the other thing that comes to mind is there are thriving communities of people with disabilities who have started their own business, and they're online. And I'll be happy to check out a few of them and connect with me on Twitter and DM me if you've got an email address you want to share with me on that. I'll be happy to get you in touch with some of those communities. And that's how you leverage the tools that you have by putting yourself out there. Are you ready? And some of the things that can hold us back are that which he's pointed out. And that's as far as I can go in what I'm seeing. Is it Hannity?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I just want to add to what Brian was saying. Brian, I join you. I was diagnosed with MS 20 years ago.
Wow.
So we're in the same boat. Yeah. And guess what? I never took a medication for it. My neurologist keep on shoving the medication down my throat, and I'll say, no, I'm not going to take any medication for it. And I'm still walking and talking. Yeah, sometimes with a stick, sometimes on a wheelchair, but you know what? I'm still breathing.
I got off them all. I quit.
And I've got two little boys, two little kids.
Yeah, the only thing
is
medical marijuana. So,
well, we're not allowed here in the UK to have any of these things over here because I live in the UK.
Yeah.
So I do understand the struggle. And I wasn't able to work. My husband was taking all the burden of financial issues. But you know what? I have a lot of degrees on me. And that's why I said, you know what? Let me start my online coaching. I'm already certified in a lot of things. And the way I've helped myself, the way I survived till now, 20 years, and I'm still going. And that's what made me keep on going. I can do it.
Well, that's the attitude I've had to take. Not because I've always wanted to.
You know what?
But it's a healthy attitude, isn't it?
Yeah. What options do you have? To give up or to keep going?
Yeah.
I'm not ready to give up. Are you ready to give up?
Absolutely not.
So you have to keep going. You have to keep moving forward. There's no going backward. I'm sorry.
It's not.
And the best thing with MS, Brian, you don't have to fight it. The more you push it, the more it's going to push you back.
That's why I went with Apple, because I don't like saying MS all the time to abbreviate.
With Microsoft.
Exactly.
I love that.
And let me tell you one thing, Brian. I'm so grateful for my MS. I think it's a gift. It is a gift. Because without my MS, I won't be the woman I am today. I won't be happy. I won't be positive. I won't be fighting my life to the best of it.
And there's somebody with a primary purpose. She has a purpose in life.
Exactly.
That's what
Exactly. And trust me, if God didn't give me this MS thing, I'd be like any one of these women around, hanging out, working, doing 9 to 5. But you know what? I'm special. I am so special.
Sounds to me like you two need to be connecting if you haven't already.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yes, please do.
Here's
Please
somebody
do.
to, here's somebody to add to your circle, Brian. She has people in her network to add to your circle so that you don't feel like you're flailing about and, trying to battle all of it by yourself. Because we don't have to.
I'm sorry, I need to stop you. Charlotte, it's not a battle. It's not a battle. We're not in a fight here. It's something we're living with. It's part of us. If I'm battling it, that means I'm fighting it. And honestly, MS is part of us. We cannot get rid of it. There's no cure for it. So we're accepting it, and we live with it as friends. MS is my best friend. We communicate. I don't know, it sounds funny. I'm not crazy, trust me. But we do. I would have signs on my body. It tells me how I feel.
I have my own illnesses that I adjust to. I was talking about the battle with Brian of trying to get things in line so that he doesn't have to be worried and afraid anymore about not having a home. That he's starting his own business. He's not quite sure what he's doing. And I equate that to flailing while you're trying to battle your way to getting things going so that we don't have that fear anymore.
Exactly.
That's why I think you'd be I don't know, just a thought. I think you'd be an excellent asset to his circle.
I put my email in the chat box, so it's there.
I've got it. I've got it, and I'll be happy later.
I'm still battling with lab again. I'm very new to it, so
okay.
Be patient with me.
No worries.
Can I say something?
Please,
I want to kudo Henley for your courage by share your story. And Brian, you really inspire the people. Somebody just give themselves some reason they don't want to get up, they don't want to keep going. And you are, keep on going and to do what you do. And what you said is so profoundly, and you thank you for your gift, because everything that come to you, like I was not kidding when I said, when your creator or God give it to you, just because he or she had the purpose, for you.
There's a reason.
And then you are on the job training, and believe it or not, you are on the job training, and now you share that with Brian, and for that, thank you.
Thank you, Han.
I agree with you,
Yes.
and it's always a reason we have something, and it's never an obstacle. It's an opportunity.
And there's the mindset that can be helpful.
Well, I'm a
to
mindset
you.
life coach, so yes, I have it all.
That's where we're looking at what we read were the 30 points, and then we had 31, which is our own whatever we want to add in there. That the causes of failure, and it's all up here, are the causes of failures. And while I hate to say we do it to ourselves, because I don't want it to be a finger pointing anything to anybody, including me, because there's 4 pointing back at me. It's the realization that I can do something about it. It's not so much that it's all my fault I got here, as much as it's I can now do something about it. And that's what I see Brian doing. That's what I see Ha doing. That's what I see Hannity doing. I see, everybody in the chat. That's why we're here, is because we're acknowledging that there is something we can do. And I'd like to know what it is. And once you tell me what it is, then I'm going to decide if I'm going to put the effort forward to do something about it. And I may decide to do something about this little gap and forget this one for a while. But by gosh, we're doing something. Just as Hannity said, I don't believe that you can just sit still. You're either moving forward or you're going backward, regardless of what it feels like. So I big virtual hugs to you, Brian, because you're still doing. Mm-hmm. You're still thinking. You're still trying. You're still wanting. You're still got the desire. And that's what's going to get you through. Now, Eric to the side has asked you a question of what kind of work you do. Right. This is the perfect place to share it, so that anybody in the, oh, you did, website design, development, internet marketing, photography, and a ton of other things. So let's stick with website design, development, internet marketing, and photography, those that you listed. Anybody out there that would like to get in touch with Brian and have a conversation about any of that, about helping him get in touch with people to move his business forward, please do so.
And she is the only the third person I've ever talked to in 18 years with Emma.
Wow.
That's why I think it's fantastic. You two should probably.
Here's why I don't talk to people with MS. I mean, I'll talk to them, but I won't talk with them.
You're right.
They're centered on defeat.
Yes.
Exactly. And I honestly, I stay away from a lot of communities with MS because when I go there, they drain my energy. I just don't want to be drained. I want somebody to pull me up and hold my hand and work forward with me. Nobody take me backwards. I'm not going backwards.
So I want to say goodbye. I want to get off for somebody to get on. But again, I want to tell you, my friends, and like you said, rest when you must, but then you never quit. That is the key. And I salute you for that. And Charlene, for giving us the very safe environment and inspire environment to share and to chat and to talk. Like he said, you are, I don't know, just like to hear your voice, to hear what you share. That's what he attract to you, just like I am. I attract to, every day I just looking for 8 o'clock. Just, if I can be 15, 20 minutes or have an hour or 4 hours, I really make an attempt to clear my schedule to be with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, Ha. As always, it was a pleasure having you on here.
Thank you.
All right. So we are hitting the top of the hour. So I'm going to be exiting in terms of the recording. I'll stop it. I will keep the room open. I can be here for another 40 minutes to an hour. So hang tight while I end the recording, okay? So I want to thank everybody who has been on the live stream. Hannity, Brian, Ha, Eric, Chuck for trying. So grateful you tried. Pleasure to meet everybody. Good to have you with me. And everybody in the audience, it is so full. My goodness, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody, and I'm sorry for that. I am sorry for that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us for our morning mindset, getting our day started on the right track and on a good track. So this is Charlene Burke with Grow Because You Know, www.growbecauseyouKnow.com. Let's move forward with the day on purpose, with purpose, to grow our hearts, grow our minds, and grow our businesses. So until